What is up everyone, Movie Wayne back again with another end of month vlog. This is just me talking about everything I've watched in the past month, which is August 2020. And before I get on to that, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel this month and all the people who have stayed subscribed. It means the world to me. I do this channel so you lot can enjoy it. And the fact that you've stuck around and subscribed anyway just means the absolute world to me. I can't believe I got to 400 subscribers and I'm almost at 500. But it doesn't matter, I'm just happy that I've got you lot for now. You know, I'm not saying I have to be in any big rush to get there, but if I do get to 500, I will repay you guys with another competition. So I don't know what the prizes will be yet. Probably will be some Amazon vouchers or something, and I'll pick 3 winners. Just as a big thanks to you guys, and it means the world, honestly, it does. I love doing YouTube. I haven't looked back, and I'm more determined than ever now. So thank you so much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the future content to the new subscribers. But basically, some of the movies I've watched here are on Blu-ray. Some of them are streamed, and some of them were at the cinema. There is one TV show that I watched this month, and it did take up a lot of the time. It took up about half the month because we were watching one episode a night, really. And there was about 15 episodes, and it was the last thing I watched, so I will talk about that last, but it was worth it. But I usually do watch a lot more movies than this, but I think there's still about 12 movies, 13 movies here, and that TV show, so not as many as usual, but like I said, the TV show took a lot of time up. So let's just get straight into it with the first movie that I watched this month. I actually watched this on Netflix, but I do own the Blu-ray, so I'll hold this up. And that is The Last Action Hero. Now, I was just feeling not great, you know, when I was watching this, self-inflicted. And I just wanted something easy to watch because I just weren't feeling great. And this was on Netflix, so I just put it on. I haven't seen that for a while. What an opening scene this is as well, just to introduce Jack to the audience. Where Ripper's got, you know, the kids on the top of the building and stuff, but it's just over the top. It's a clever idea, a very clever idea, and it's a bit of ahead of its time, actually. It's basically about this young boy on the front. Oh, it's not on the front, he's on the back, but that used to be the movie cover. He goes into the movie with a magic ticket, and his hero is Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays Jack Slater in these Jack Slater movies, and he goes on a big action adventure with him. I'm sure most of you have seen it. It's an early 90s movie, quite famous, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, what a guy, you know, he's just one of my biggest heroes, and he's great in there. So many great one-liners and stuff. It's just a funny movie, but really good action and stuff, and Charles Dance is a good villain in this. I love Charles Dance. So, if you haven't seen The Last Action Hero, it might be worth a watch. It's an interesting movie, ahead of its time. John McTiernan, who made Die Hard and Die Hard 3, did direct this film, so I enjoyed it. It made me feel a little bit better anyway. The next up is a movie that my friend Jack has been harping on to me for years to watch, and I finally just seen it in CX, so I bought it and I watched it that weekend. That is Uncle Buck, a first time watch for me. Yes, I am very, very guilty of not seeing this film. Just missed being passed me by in my childhood, really. I don't know why, but this was a great movie. I had such a fun time with this. John Candy was excellent, and Macaulay Culkin actually showed his acting skills in this really well. You know, shows Home Alone weren't really a one-off. He was really good in the film. Really funny film, and Uncle Buck has to go and mind, you know, his nephew and 2 nieces for a family emergency, and his older niece just is having none of it. She doesn't like him. But the 2 kids, Macaulay Culkin and his sister, absolutely adore him. So it becomes a little bit of a battle there between Uncle Buck and the older niece, but it's a funny film, it really is. And I had such a good time with this, just a good feel-good comedy. And it's got John Hughes written all over it. You can just tell it's his film. But I really, really enjoyed this. And John Candy was great, wasn't he? I mean, sadly passed away, but yeah, these are the movies that you can remember him by. So I thought that was a good film. I would definitely watch that again. Thank you, Jack, for the recommendation. I finally watched the film, my friend. Next up, we have Unhinged. Now, this is a cinema release, and I was just looking up my cinema listing because they were showing lots of old films, and I seen this, and I'd never heard of it, and I thought, 2020 movie, Russell Crowe, with getting angry at traffic lights and going on a rampage. Let's go. What are we waiting for? And I really enjoyed this film. I've got a full review on this movie. If you want to see me review for that, I will leave my 2020 movie review playlist down below in the description, because there are a few other films on here from 2020 that will be in that playlist. But I was really surprised by this. I thought, you know, they're giving it a cinema release in this COVID. It's like one of the first 2020 movies to come to cinema. Is this going to be terrible? But I was so surprised. And Russell Crowe was fantastic in this. He was really a menacing character. And there's so many great moments as well. It's only like a 90-minute movie, but it's one that you can just go have a fun time with, even though it's, you know, really terrible things going on. But I really enjoyed it. I did. And I would definitely recommend this film. I think it's still in the cinema now, so if you're looking for a film to go and see and you've already gone and seen Tenet or The New Mutants, definitely go and check this one out, because it's well worth it. It's a really good film, and I feel like it might be underrated in future. But there you go, Unhinged. That is a 2020 movie I watched. Next up, this movie was absolutely fantastic. It really was, and that was Lords of Chaos. Now, I picked this up in an Arrow 2 for 15 deal. This and Incident in a Ghostland, and I watched that one first, and then I got to this, and oh my word, what a movie. This is based on a true story from a black metal band in Oslo, I think it is, and Rory Culkin is in this. Believe it or not, I've just been talking about his brother Macaulay Culkin, but Rory Culkin's in this, and he's the leader of this like band, and he opens his own, you know, vinyl shop and stuff. And this other guy joined the band because he's got a great voice and stuff, and things just get out of control, and some bad things happen. It's honestly, it's fantastic. The less you know, the better, I feel. But Rory Culkin was brilliant in this. He really was. I was so surprised. I'd seen him in Scream 4 before, but nothing really else. But he was brilliant in this movie. He really was, and I cannot recommend it enough, guys, honestly. I usually do a pick of the month for my best movie that I watched, and this was nearly going to get it, but you will understand why I didn't give it to this in a moment. But this was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to watch it again. I'll probably do a horror revisited on the channel. Is it a horror? Sort of, a little bit of a thriller really, but definitely watch this. Honestly, it's from 2018. Definitely give it a go. It's very violent though, very violent, and it looks really real. The blood in that is something else. Next up is a movie I've wanted to see for a very long time, because I've started getting into the 50s a little bit, and this is from 1953, I believe. Sorry, it does not, I can't see it on the back, but this is Them, a monster movie about giant ants, and it's in black and white and stuff, but look at that cover, how good's that? Fantastic. This was in the 2 for 15 range with HMV. I picked up this and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but I haven't watched that this month. But I enjoyed it, you know. It was a good little... It's very dated, but I don't mind dated stuff from like the 50s and stuff, because you can forgive it. I had a good time with it. I did. You know, not much to say about just giant ants attacking this city, sort of, and then I think they go into the sewer systems and stuff. But yeah, just a good monster movie from the 1950s, and this is an era I really want to explore a bit more of now. But I really, you know, it was an okay movie. You know, I'd like to rewatch it again. But yeah, not bad. If you like your monster movies, maybe worth checking this one out. It was a good film, Next up we have, sorry, I'm just looking at my list there, guys, because it's very hard to remember all these movies. This is another 2020 movie that I went to see a week after Unhinged, and I just thought, yeah, it had the guy off Stranger Things in. I forgot his damn name, but he plays that guy who works in the ice cream store in Stranger Things. I can't believe I forgot his name. I've done a full review on this. I should remember his name, but that'll be down below in the 2020 movie playlist as well if you want to check it out. But yeah, this is called Spree anyway, and this is about a vlogger who can't quite get the views that he wants. So he decides to start killing people in this taxi-like service that he's got, which is called the Spree service. But it's also called Spree because he goes on a killing spree, and he's starting to film them, you know, on his camera, and everyone thinks it's a hoax and stuff, but things soon get out of hand, and he goes from one extreme to the other. And it was quite a fun film, you know. I thought the second half of the movie suffered way more, because the first half was very, very strong, and as it was just gaining momentum, it sort of slowed down for some reason. But it could have been so much better if that second half was good. But it's still an enjoyable watch. You know, I'd recommend this, and I think it's still on the cinema now. It's an indie movie, but it's been given a big screen release, and I think it is available on VOD as well. So if that sounds like your type of film, found footage, you know, done it in a different little way, you might enjoy Spree. Next up is a movie that I'm going to give my pick of the month to, and there is a clue on screen right now. Yes. It's Pulp Fiction. There we go. I absolutely adore this film. Me and my fiance went out. I just had a few drinks because it was really, really hot, and we went to the local pub with this big beer garden, and we come home about 8 o'clock, and I just said, you know what, can we throw Pulp Fiction on? I just feel like watching it. Because people were talking about it on Twitter at the time, and I knew this movie was good, but this was probably apart from the first time I watched it, probably my favourite time watching it. I don't know if my 4K TV is upscaled this Blu-ray or something, but it just looked absolutely incredible. And I was just getting onto more little things that I didn't notice. And it's faultless. It's perfect. 10 out of 10. And just the characters in this, the way the movie is built, you know, from one scene to the other, the story going back and forth. I could talk about this all day. I will do a full review on the channel on this when my editing skills are a little bit better, but I don't think I could do it justice just right now. But I would have no problem throwing this on tomorrow. And I remember watching it and just thinking about it all week. I was talking about it with my mate in work because he loves the film. I just couldn't get it out of my head all week. And definitely in my top 5 greatest movies of all time, for sure. It's just absolutely brilliant. It really is. Quentin Tarantino, overrated. Okay. Now, sorry, a lot of people have just been hearing say that on the internet lately, but there you go. Next up, we have a movie, probably one of the worst films I've watched all year. This is a 2020 film release, and that is Project Power. This came to Netflix. Now, look, I wanted to review this movie, but I just don't think I would have done it justice, because for the last 30 minutes I was actually nodding off. Partly because of the movie, partly because of the day and work I had, but I had no desire to go back and revisit this and review it, and I was frustrated with myself because I do want to review as many movies as possible on this channel, but I just couldn't do it. I just could not go back and watch that film. It was so bad, honestly. I just did not like it. And it's basically about these people who have a pill, and they gain superhero powers for like 5 minutes, and they can do what they want for them 5 minutes. There was some good moments. There was a guy who was camouflaged and he was robbing a bank, run down the street with people chasing him, and it looked quite good. And there's another guy who just, you know, goes on fire, and he gets involved in a fight with, my mind's gone blank today, Jamie Foxx, and that was a good little scene. But apart from that, I just thought it was like Limitless was a good movie. This wasn't not even half of Limitless. It was just same premise, but it just weren't good. I just did not enjoy this movie at all, and I just had no desire to go back and review it. But I didn't review it because I wouldn't have been able to do it justice, because I did fall asleep for large portions of the third act. So that was Project Power. Next up was, I don't know why, but this was just on TV, so we watched it. It was on at 10 o'clock one night, and it is The In-Betweeners 2. Really, you know, it is a funny movie, this. It's not as good as the first one, but we still had a good time with it. I've seen it a few times now, and the water park scene in this film is absolutely legendary. I knew what was coming, and I still could not stop laughing for so long. I think I woke the neighbours up laughing. It was that funny. It's just just looking at the back now there, you know, look at that guy, Will. What a hero. I love him. He's just so funny. He makes this show for me, and it's just, honestly, it's it was just a fun watch. I do prefer the first one, but that water park scene, man, oh my god. Next up we have, we and my fiance love horror movies, and we decided to go and get Shudder, the new streaming service, which shows mostly only horror movies, and this might be my favourite streaming service now. Because I've only watched one film on it, but there's so much that I want to watch on there. You know, there's lots of 2020 Shudder originals that Shudder do themselves. It only appear on there, kind of like Netflix originals, and this was one of them. And this is called Host. It's only a 60-minute movie. In fact, it's 57 minutes. And this was kind of like Spree a little bit, but it all took place on a Zoom call, and it's a found footage, you know, movie with this demon who they attempt to do a seance live on this Zoom call, and this demon interrupts and starts invading their homes, and it was a really fun, scary movie. I remember my fiance just sitting on the couch going, oh my god, I love this type of film. We just had such a fun time with it. She was way more scared than I was, but there was a few scenes where I did jump, and I've done a full review for this on down below if you want to check it out. But that is Host, a Shudder original. $4.99 a month, and here in the UK, I think it's worth it if you love your horror. This is not a sponsored ad, by the way. Next up is the big movie of the year up to now, and that is Tenet. Christopher Nolan's new mind-bending, time-shifting extravaganza, and I can't even go into what it's about really, but you just have to see it for yourself. This was a very interesting film from Nolan, and I've done a full review of this one as well down below if you want to check it out, but I really enjoyed this film. I mean, I got lost in it. 30 minutes in, I gave it my full attention. 45 minutes in, I was lost. But I did not take any enjoyment away from my experience. I still had a fantastic time. And I went with two friends and my fiance, and we all came out and said, yeah, we got lost, but we all had a great time with it. It was some great scenes in there, some great action-packed scenes, and I can't wait to watch it again because it invites you for a second watch, third watch even, and I'm going to accept the invitation. So Tenet, don't know if I'll rewatch it at the cinema, but definitely on 4K when it comes out, I'll pick that up and give it another go. But Tenet, I'm sure most of you who've been to the cinema this week may have gone to see that one. So I think it's worth checking out personally, but I can see people hating it as well. My fiance's friend hated it. She texted the other day saying she just hated the movie and walked out an hour and a half in. So, not for everyone, but I still recommend it. Next up is another movie that could have got my pick of the month along with Lords of Chaos, but just missed out to Pulp Fiction. But this is Knives Out on 4K, and this was a first time watch for me. I just missed it at the cinema. But I'd heard so many people talk about this film, and I always thought, please don't let it down. I've heard too many good things. I don't want it to be a letdown, and it wasn't. It was fantastic. Such a fun film. Basically, it's about this rich guy who is murdered in his, in his bedroom, basically. And it's after a party, a family party, and all the family are getting interviewed as to what happened. And you have to guess who kind of done it, and who's, sort of backstabbing who or whatever, excuse the pun, or who's telling the truth. It's a whodunit movie basically, and I love these type of films. I love keeping my mind guessing through the film. But I just want to say, Rian Johnson got a lot of stick for The Last Jedi, but he can direct a movie. This was so well directed, honestly. I was so surprised. And it just looked brilliant on 4K, it really did. One of the best looking 4Ks I've seen. You got Toni Collette in there, Daniel Craig's brilliant in this. He's doing an American accent, but he's really, really good. Jamie Lee Curtis, and what's his name? Captain America. Oh my god, my mind is going blank today. But anyway, sorry guys, I'm going to have to... Chris Evans, oh my god. I knew it was Chris, I just couldn't remember if it was Chris Evans or not. But, great film. Really, really, really recommend this one. And you can watch this with all the family and have a good time, I feel. Really good film. Next up is the New Mutants, guys. And now, I was going to do my review for this today, but it will be tomorrow. I do apologise for that, but I'm not going to say too much. You just have to look out for my review for that one. But I'll leave it there, put it that way. I was excited for it because it's a horror movie with X-Men, giving me Elm Street 3 vibes because it's all in like an institute, but I'll leave it there. I'll save that one for my review. And last up is the TV show that I was talking about. And a few people have been watching this month, even though it came out in 2012. It's just come to Netflix now, and that is The Fall. Now, if you like crime or realistic crime, you know, about serial killers and stuff, watch this. Honestly, there's 3 seasons here, but they've only about 5 or 6 episodes in each one. And it's basically about this guy. I think his name's Jamie Dornan, and he was in 50 Shades of Grey. And he's going around basically strangling women in Belfast. And he sort of takes trophies from these victims and stuff. And you see his family life. He's got like a daughter and a son and his wife, and he just seems like a really normal family guy. And then you see the police side of things where they're trying to catch him, and it's Gillian Anderson. Remember the name from the X-Files? She's like the leading detective in this, trying to catch him, and it's a really good TV show. It just wraps up on the end of season 3, but I will be doing a full review on this. Because I just want to. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Spine tingling at times. And some twists and turns, let me just say it that way. But definitely recommend this. The Fall. Brilliant. My dad recommended this to me a very long time ago. And when my dad recommends something, he's usually spot on, because he doesn't do it that much, but when he does, you've got to pay attention. And thanks, Dad. That's all I'm going to say, because I absolutely loved it. But I will do a full review on this at some point this month. And that is it, guys, for everything I watched this month. Sorry there wasn't too much, you know. I usually watch way more than this, and I know there's not much editing on this video and stuff, but I just like to do this as a free talk, as a bit of a break from, you know, editing, and I just feel like it comes across better to you guys. But yeah, I just like doing it as a vlog, really. But that is my end of month vlog for everything I've watched in August 2020. Look out for my New Mutants review. That'll be my next video. Got the Movie Talk Weekly coming every week. And I've done a collab with Andy the other day, El Pavote from Twitter. Some of you might know him if you're a football fan. Definitely check that out. I really enjoyed doing that video, and I think Andy did too. And let us know if you want to see Andy again on the channel, because I really want to do another one with him. So hopefully you'll be up for that. We're basically just talking the 70s. And I've also done a top 10 terrifying movies that scared me, which is the video before that. I'll leave the link to these down below. I loved making that video. It was one of my favourite videos I've ever made on the channel, because there is some personal little mini stories and that there. But thank you so much, everyone, again, for subscribing, for watching this video if you made it to the end. Take it all easy, guys. And I'll see you all in the next video.